Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. We're going to carry on with our series installment for The Last Caretaker. This is the part 2 episode for launching our humans into space at the Exodus space launch pad. So we'll get right back into it. Okay, so at this point we have established a power source with our windmill turbines that are powering our water pumps as well as the water purifier and storing the water in this storage tank. We've also set up a network connection to power the Saboteur reactor, and we're going to daisy chain these with those that were repaired on the other side so we can connect and collaborate all of our electrical efforts. So anytime you can daisy chain electrical options, you should. So with that said, we're going to continue on with establishing our electricity network. We've also set up a recycler in this corner, and we are going to eventually need more power. Instead of wasting all of our resources building individual power supplies, we're going to daisy chain and connect the entire thing. Now, we're going to run some electrical cable to the top of this ramp to connect to our shuttle and continue on to the other side. All right, now we'll continue on with building our extenders. And you'll open the sides of the rocket on this level, the little donut looking level. The access panels are along the side and they're marked with their resources. So this is your oxygen, your methane, and your electricity. So we're going to put an electrical hub here. Okay, now that we've established power to our rocket, we'll continue on with the electrical connection, and then we'll bring our human to the rocket to advance the narrative. Okay, now we have all of our power sources fixed and repaired. Now that we have daisy chained all of our electrical, we'll go pick up our human and bring him to the site so we can advance the directives. Okay, so we'll take this human up to the top floor of the elevator. So that extends the ramp, and we'll open the door to the rocket. We'll carefully carry our human on board, and we'll set them in one of these 3 locations and they lock in. Get him loaded up on fuel and we're good to go. Now this is probably one of the more difficult aspects of the game, and again why I'm breaking it up into a 2-parter episode, just because it's a chore finding the seed and getting it to the Lazarus complex. It's a chore growing it to a human, and it's a chore fueling up the rocket to get it into space. But once we make it to that point, you're pretty much free and clear. Now we're going to need some more power supply. This just isn't enough to run all of the equipment that we'll need, so we will find another spot. So ultimately we'll build the generator that'll power the distiller, and the distiller will produce diesel and petrol, or gasoline. The gasoline will fuel the electric generator, and the electric generator will produce the methane for the Saboteur reactor to produce oxygen. Yeah, it is complicated. We're also going to need to build an electric generator so we can produce some methane. Okay, so at this point we have hit level 18, and we have our basics power supply connected and running in a connected chain. We went ahead and built a recycler. There's the water purifier coming to my water tank, and we have our reactor hooked up to its power source as well as a water source, and we're getting ready to feed it some carbon monoxide from this large electric generator. You'll see where I'm going to get the fuel to power this bad boy, and you guys were wondering why I was hoarding all of these little canisters of gasoline. This is exactly why. Ideally, we would like to build a distillery right here, a distillator, whatever it is, but you can't unlock that until level 20. Most of you are going to get to this point before you hit level 20. So as a workaround, in order for us to be able to produce the methane or the exhaust, the CO2 needed to get the methane from the reactor, we're going to have some kind of CO2 output, and it comes from this generator here. So with the distillator, it produces gasoline and diesel as a byproduct, and we normally use that to fuel the generator. Since we're not to that level, we're just going to use the canisters of gasoline that we've saved to be the distillator for the time being until we get to level 20. For those that are already at level 20, go ahead and build the distillator. It will save you so much trouble in the long run. Before we start our process of getting the last resources for the rocket, we're going to go out to this last platform, run electricity to it, and get all of the scrap out of it that we can. I know we're going to need to build a turbine out here, so we're going to go ahead and grab the materials we need for that so we don't have to come all the way back. Before we begin that, we'll look at level 18 skills. The Eclipse Light headlamp is probably the most important headlamp you can unlock in the game. It has such a powerful beam, it pretty much kills any of the leeches that come at you in the dark. But it doesn't consume a lot of power like the other headlamps do, but it is an extremely high clarity and high efficiency beam. Also, our rifle tri-ammo. This short-circuiting rounds for electrical non-living targets. This is for our bolt rifle. The ammo here, this is a good unlock as well. I went ahead and unlocked our other larger grenades. Kind of left the higher tier food items for the time being. We don't really need that for where we are currently in the game. And the distillation tower here at level 20, that's what I was talking about. If you've reached this point in the game, go ahead and build it. It'll save you so many steps in the process, but if not, this is how we'll get to that point to where we can still launch our human just the same. You also see we went ahead and put down a gas extender. This is what we're going to use to run the oxygen, the O2 output through the connector into this tank. And now we will proceed to the platform. Okay, the power is going to be over here on the left side down these stairs. Just keep in mind you got a couple of cocoons you got to deal with when you get down here. Okay, we can't build a turbine down here, but we can at the top of the steps. So there's a ball on the back side of this little area, so we're going to go ahead and preemptively attack it. Get our grenades, make sure we're locked and loaded. Haha, got him with the first one, didn't even need the second one. Boom. We'll be coming back for this later for scrap. This is the control room. So when we're ready, we'll come here to start this up and it will begin and initiate the countdown sequence. For now, we just needed it powered. Alright, now we will begin the fueling up sequence. so we can begin fueling up the gas tank. Okay, now we have our gas tank fueled up. Alright, now we need a gas cable to run to our SBAC door. Turn you on. Turn you on. Yay! It works! Oh, that's a thing of beauty right there. So we have our gasoline tank fueling our large electric generator, which is producing the electricity that is running Saboteur Reactor. Our power is coming in off the generator. Also off of the generator, we're producing CO2 as exhaust. And we have that coming into the Saboteur Reactor here. We have our fresh water input coming from the water tank that is pulling water from the pumps below with this water purifier. And from the reactor, it's producing oxygen, which is going directly into this 9,000 liter tank, which we're about a third of the way full now, as well as methane. That's where our methane comes from. So we should have enough to be able to launch the rocket. But for now, we'll just sit back and admire our handiwork, because that is a thing of beauty, folks. We'll also need to build connectors here for the methane as well as the oxygen. Okay, so I want to build a connector coming in from our methane here as well as our oxygen here. Connect it there. Okay, so now we have our oxygen connection and our methane connection. Just want to make sure to keep straight what's what. Okay, we're going to take our oxygen, drop it down to the connector. You don't have to hook up all of these cables for the oxygen. I just hate wasting anything in this game, just because it's so hard to come by. Alright, this will be our oxygen connection. We'll drop down, our methane connection. We are fueling and powering our rocket. That'll pretty much be all we build here until we come back at level 20. We'll go ahead and start packing up our materials. We'll leave some cables here. Alright, we have maxed out on methane, so that's good. So now that everything else is full, we'll go ahead and start shutting down all of our other equipment that's stealing power away from our rocket. It is really important not to forget to close these hatches before you do this launch. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself starting the sequence and getting all the way out to a safe distance just to realize that it's not going to launch because you left those hatches open. If you're waiting for the last of the power to charge up the rocket and you've got everything else filled up, go ahead and take all of your material resources back to your boat, break everything down, and go around and scrap all of the remaining places that we just went to turn power on. Like I said, the control room, there's so many good resources there. Don't leave this point of interest until you've scrapped as much as you can. I'm going to go ahead and save, and we'll pick this up once the charging's been complete. Okay, now looks like our rocket is charged up, so we'll go ahead and get our human into space. Okay, there's a couple of places that we can go to launch the actual rocket, but like I said, before we even do that, we're going to go ahead and go around and make sure that all of our hatches are closed, because you don't want to leave any of those open. And you can check this terminal just to make sure we've got it all accounted for. So we're full on everything. Our humans are attached, hatches are closed, doors closed, all of the connections are disconnected. We can begin the startup. Here, you can request the launch.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance to the terminal. ignition sequence at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, igniting.
Look, just look at it. Humans ascending again, soaring into the heavens. You've done it. You've really done it. Do you feel this? This impossible joy. It's happening, Caretaker. We've reached hope. Something out there is calling to you. Do you hear it? It knows things we don't. Or perhaps things we once knew. A location has been received. Carry on.
A quick look at some of the skills that we have here. Level 18 and 19, I wanted to take one more close look. As we saw in an earlier episode, there are different variations of food that you can feed your humans. However, once you get to these levels, you get an extremely rare or uncommon version of food, and you can see what they do that's a little different from the normal food. These are a higher quality of food that you'll feed them, so it kind of does more than one thing for the human at a time. So for example, we'll go up here to Mind Search, and all it does is it's designed to enhance the cognitive function or the brain capacity of the human and their overall health for a period of time, and it tells you what it is made of. Here though, like for the hyper evolution, an advanced nutrient blend that accelerates adaptation and growth on a cellular level, enhancing both physical and cognitive abilities. This thick, vibrant green liquid with a metallic taste simulates quick cellular adaptation and strengthens resilience. So what this is going to do is increase the overall metabolic processes of the cells within the human, as well as increase the lifespan and longevity. So that's really what those are. And that's what level 19 has. It has an Ultimate Genesis food canister, and that more or less is a comprehensive formula that boosts overall vitality, aiding in both physical and mental resilience for peak performance. So that does a combination of both the mental brain aspect as well as the physical muscular skeletal aspect. You also have the large oxygen grenade, which we saw what happened with the laser bob, as well as the sniper rod ammo, just a little different from your regular sniper ammo. But do keep in mind, any sniper ammo that you make uses titanium, so unless you have an abundance of that, just know it's going to come at a premium cost. But that's all I've got for the skills at this point. Level 20 is really where we want to be, and we'll take a closer look at that once we hit there.
A capsule descends from above, a sign of gratitude for your dedication. Find it. This reward might hold keys for our continued survival.
And there's the pod. There's a couple ways you can get in. The easiest way is on top, but you can also drop down below and swim underneath.
Or have gone where we cannot, carried by your resolve. But this is not enough. More must rise, more must follow. This path cannot close. Not yet. Keep sending them, Caretaker. Keep humanity alive.
And that's our rewards. And there you have it, folks. We will do the last listener's mission in the next episode. I appreciate all the support and love you guys show. Make sure to do all the socials, like, subscribe, comment below, and I will catch you on the next one. This is Martyr signing off. Be good or be good at it.